Hey, Jessica.
Hey, I'm sorry. I couldn't find the link.
I keep the same link, so I don't, for everything that I do, it's the exact same link.
I know, but I never saved your link. That's the problem. I gotta save it right now. I gotta find a way to save it.
I'm just too lazy to change anything.
No, I think it's supposed to be. I think once you have like a setup, you're like that. Okay, the kids are playing in here, so I got limited space. All right, they're watching Moana.
Oh, nice.
Let's see if I can get like a good 20 minutes at least.
Okay, cool. Let's see, exit full screen. I'm trying to get my headphones to connect because my speakers are not too loud on this.
Got it.
Oops. On.
Hold on, I think the water's running. Hold on.
Okay.
Yep. I thought I heard something. I don't even know how long ago someone was in the bathroom. The water in the sink was running.
I'm sorry, you broke up right there.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
You sound a lot lower now that you have your headphones on.
Okay, then let me take them off. Okay, can you hear me better now?
Much better. But
Okay.
Or do I need to like yell?
No, you're good. I'll just turn my fan off. I just did the Zoom call, so I had my AC going. It was hot.
Yeah. Oh, you did the workout?
I did, yeah. So I have my fan and stuff on.
The 6 a.m. Zoom with Sal did your boxing workout today.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
That one was fun. I like that one.
Yeah, it is, but I think I exerted my shoulder a little too much.
You're punching too hard or what?
I guess so. He was like, push your aggression. And I was like, I think I did like an uppercut. And I was like, oh, I think I did that wrong.
I love it. That's so funny. Oh, I don't love that you got hurt, but I think it's like you're really pushing it.
Well, it's funnier is that we don't even use any weights in this one, and I could feel it.
Completely body weight, nothing. Yeah. You know where I got that workout from?
Where?
It was a old video game that you played on the Xbox. It would have like a video camera and record like your body motions. And it was like a UFC training game that I played way back in high school.
How funny. No, it's a good workout. The only thing is that yesterday we did all shoulders, I felt like. So every time he had us go down for like a plank or like the side ones, I was like, oh, but you know.
I think we're going to have a video recording of us doing that. I think it was me, Alex, in the background, and Sal was coaching it. So that one should come out soon.
Yeah. So he did that. Yeah, that's the one we did this morning. I think that's what he's doing. I think he's kind of going through the other Zoom calls or the other workouts and then kind of just giving us on the 6 a.m.
Yeah.
So.
Do you have your ball?
You know what? I don't. And I have to see. I had it here like yesterday because I knew that it was coming. Let me go see if I can find one in the kids' room real quick. Hold on.
Sure. Hi, Janique. Oh. Wrong one.
A quick glance, I couldn't find it, so I'm just going to use the foam roller.
Sorry.
That's fine. That's fine.
I was like,
hey, girl.
Hey, Jessica.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Ugh. So, are you leading it?
I am, yes.
Oh, cool.
Have you met Christian before?
Just through seeing on Facebook, but never in person.
You took the Zoom right now, didn't you?
I just took the Zoom, yeah.
Yeah, I saw you in there.
Yeah. Is it okay if I just, like, I'm not going to do the whole session. I don't have the time. So is that okay if I just join for like half of it? Yeah. Okay.
I'll make it personal for both of you ladies. You both need, you're both needing to leave early, right? 30 minutes about for you, Jess?
Yeah, I gotta cut out too. So
Okay.
what do you, Jen, what do you need? Your shoulders, back, legs?
Legs.
Okay, well, we'll start off with legs then.
I have this like really, like, I'll back up. Right here is so
Okay.
freaking like, so.
I got you. So we'll do some of the inner thigh. We'll do some hip stuff. That's going to help you too, Jessica, with your low back.
Yeah,
We'll go through the hips today.
perfect.
And if we have time for anything else, we'll, whatever you guys want to do.
Yeah, if we have time, I want to do my shoulders a little bit.
Yeah, I'll get your shoulder. Perfect. Awesome, ladies. Okay, so what we're going to start doing is we're going to get the inner part of the thigh. Right where Janique was pointing at is the adductor. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the foam roll right next to us right here. And we're going to kind of get into like a Spider-Man motion.
Yeah.
So your leg's going to be out in front of you. And it's going to look like kind of like a figure four. There you go. Good, good. So make sure that foam roll is, yeah, pretty forward. Now what I want you to do is lean in towards your quad a little bit.
Okay.
So you're gonna lean forward just a little bit. And what I want you to do is when you find that tender spot, I want you to extend your foot all the way out. All right, so find that tender spot. What I want you to do, Janique, is just hold it on one spot, the most tender spot. There we go. Now I want you to extend your foot all the way out towards your TV.
Which one? This one?
Like you're gonna, once you find that tender spot, you're gonna flex it and extend it. So flex it back. There we go. And extend it. Good. Good. Do it 3 times and find another tender spot. How you feeling, Jessica?
Yeah.
You got it?
I feel it.
Good, good, good. Yeah, that little thing, that the inner part of the thigh is something that's hard for us to get to. Unless you're like in gymnastics, it's hard to like stretch it really well. Good. So you're gonna do 3 extensions and flexions, and then you're gonna find another spot and then do another 3. Never on the kneecap though, so stay away from the kneecap. We don't want to roll tendons, just the muscles.
I didn't realize this was so tight.
Yeah, yeah, you'll feel it like twingy kind of in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to break all that stuff up. Good, good, good. All right, as soon as you're done right here, let's go ahead and switch legs.
Ow.
It's gonna hurt, but you'll feel better afterwards, I promise.
I knew how to do like the rolling in that position, but I've never done that like extend out. So that's
yeah, that's something that I don't see a lot of people doing. But it really does help really.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. So we'll do that again. Janique, I didn't give you this disclaimer, but when we're doing foam rolling, we're trying to send a signal from your brain to that muscle to release. And the only way to do that is sustained pressure for 30 seconds. So I see a lot of people when they foam roll, they're like back and forth, right?
Right.
That's not giving the brain enough time to send that signal. So we're gonna put all the pressure we can on it, hold it there at that one spot, okay? And then flex and extend.
It's funny how one leg could be so much tighter than the other leg.
Yeah.
So, that may be true, but what I want you to try to do is lean in a little bit closer, like down forward into your quad. I'm sure you'll find it.
Oh,
Okay.
no, I feel it. It's just like the other leg had much more spots.
Yeah. You know what I've been doing in my training to kind of combat that is single leg work.
Oh,
Like it's called unilateral. So you're working one side of the body. And then you'll notice, like, if you're favoring one side when you're using both legs in a squat, you'll notice it because one side will be weaker than the other, and you kind of try to even it out.
I totally favor.
Yeah, A lot of people do. I do too. I tend to favor my right side and push a little bit harder off my right foot than my left.
It's funny because I'm right-handed, but I push harder on my left.
Yeah, I'm like that with my left arm, my upper body. I'm a little
That's
stronger on
good.
my left. All right, cool. So now that we got that part foam rolled, what I want to do is actually stretch that part out. So we're gonna get into that frog pose. We're gonna spread our knees as far as you can here, as wide as you can get them. Come down onto your forearms, and what I want you to do is push back on your forearms. Push your butt into your heels. That's going to make the stretch just a little bit deeper. The further you push your hips back, the more deep the stretch is going to get. And usually what I recommend for these is stretching for 2 minutes. For the sake of time, just so we can get through the whole hip, I don't want to do 2 minutes. We'll do maybe like 45 seconds, but usually on your own, you do this for 2 minutes.
And just hold the whole time or release and hold?
Yeah, you just hold it. If you want to, you feel more comfortable, like a little bit into the stretch, kind of use your elbows, pull them into your body, and then push away so you can push your hips back a little bit more. Use your elbows to push those hips back. Good. Easy does it. Let the stretch come to you. Don't force any stretches. Let the stretches come to you. Good. Let's slowly come back up to starting position.
Okay, how? Oh.
Oh, I'm trying to get back up.
Oh, okay.
All right. How's that feeling? Sorry, I slowly get back up out of that one. That one's tough. How's it feeling in that part of your leg, Janique?
It's feeling good.
Okay. Let's see. Hips. So, do you have a softball or any kind of a hard ball?
Yeah, I can grab one really quick.
We can use the foam roll if not. But I like to use the ball. I'll show you both ways, but we'll use the foam roll for right now.
Okay.
So there's a little tiny muscle right above your pocket, the TFL right here. I think of it as like the corner of your hip. What I want you to do is try to get that foam roll into the corner of your hip right here. So it's just above your pocket. If you had a pocket in your pants, that's where you would find it. And I want you to put all your weight on that tiny little, you'll feel it when you get to it.
I'm using my harder roller.
Oh, that one will dig in there, yeah.
Yeah, that hurts.
Oh. Well, the softball is my favorite. That's what I like to use. That really digs in there. Do you feel it, Janique?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. And then once again, it's going to be the front corner. So if you want to like put your chest into the carpet a little bit more, you put more pressure on that tiny little thing. Awesome. Go ahead and as soon as you start feeling that tenderness start to go away, go ahead and switch sides.
Oh.
Sometimes it takes a long time, but that tenderness, it does dull away. And that's when you know that the muscle is released. So sometimes it's 30 seconds, sometimes it's longer. It depends on how tight the muscle is and how much pressure you put on it. Nice work here, ladies. This little thing gets tight because we sit all the time. A lot of people think that like a tight muscle is something that you use a lot and it's like an overactive muscle. But this little tiny muscle gets tight because we sit a lot. And if our brain doesn't tighten that muscle, it might rip because it's so weak. So it's like a neurological mechanism to make sure that thing doesn't rip rather than an overuse making it tight. It's kind of
I don't sit at all. I'm a
you
mom.
know? Well, you're
Right? I don't binge watch TV, nothing.
your inner thigh is what's really hurting you right now. But like Jessica, her low back, and that's sometimes from sitting. That's just this little muscle will get tight no matter what. But some people, this is the cause of like an anterior pelvic tilt, like your pelvis tilts forward or something, usually this thing's tight, so it doesn't let your hips go into the right spot, and that'll cause low back pain. All right, so now that we got that, let's get into the quad, the very front muscle right here. You can do this single leg or double leg. I like to use single leg because I can put more pressure, but if you want to save some time, double leg is fine as well. Let me try to scoot to the side so you can see like an angle. What you're gonna do is find the meaty part of your quad, find something that's tender, and then once again, flex that heel back, and then extend it out forward again. Jessica.
My hips don't hurt from sitting. My hips hurt because those babies sat in that area when I was pregnant. Ever since then, my hips have been jacked up.
What happened when you were pregnant?
The kids all sat in my hips. Like all the weight was in my hips.
Oh.
My entire pregnancy, they sat really low in there.
So this is what happened. I don't know if you'll be able to see me if I stand up. Let me try to do it on my knees. So what happens if they're sitting low, your hips are anteriorly, think of your hips as a bucket. And then the top, if it's pouring water forward, you have anterior pelvic tilt, and then posterior if it's pushing back. If you're weighting forward like that, your hips are constantly tilted this way. And if you come up, you're gonna get that tension on the low back right here. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And that's because they probably sat low and this gets tight, it gets overused, you know, things like that.
And then you hold them on the side of your hip like this.
Yeah, then that makes your hips this, you know.
That's why.
Yep. How you feeling, Janique? Awesome.
It hurts.
It does. You'll feel good. Don't worry. It's a temporary and necessary hurt.
I did a 5-mile bike ride yesterday too.
Okay.
And I haven't done that in like over a year. So pulling my child in a trailer. So it's like.
Oh, okay. That's nice. Yeah, that's a little extra weight. Get that quad going. Oh, that probably feels really good right now then.
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, I can work the quad's a huge muscle. It's actually 4 muscles. That's why it's called quad. But there's 4 muscles that, man, I can work, massage this out and stretch the quad for a long time because it's a huge muscle. There's a lot of things for our body.
Yeah, and I'm quad dominant, so I tend to get really.
Try to get low in their squats. That's what I had to do. That's because my quads just kept growing.
Oh, so that's like, so get lower?
That'll help getting lower and then getting proper glute activation. We'll get into that right after we stretch our quads. We'll go into the glute. Yeah. Getting proper glute activation, I'll let you both know when we get there. Like how to get more of because a lot of girls want to build their butt in squats, right? And our butt is naturally not active if we like do a glute bridge. Sometimes people feel it in their hamstrings or their quads or their hips. That's how we know the glute's not activating properly. I'll get to that right now. But anyways, now that we've foam rolled, massaged out the quads, what I want you to do is stretch out the quads. So we're gonna do the couch stretch. Remember that one, Jessica?
Yeah.
I think you can do that on the chair right next to you or the wall behind you. Janique, you can do it on the couch right behind you. So what you're gonna do is put your foot on the top of the couch and then bring your knee all the way flush with the floor and the couch.
So this one, what is this one?
This one is gonna come out forward. Now I want you to lean into it. I don't want you to try to come up at first, okay? Stay low, and then eventually we're gonna try to get all the way up to the top.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So a little bit wider with your foot. There you go. Good. And then try to come up. So you're like in that world's greatest stretch kind of thing, getting more of the inner part. What I want you to do is try to come up rather than get the leg out. I want you to try to get your torso up. That's it. Now you're going to feel it in the quad.
Yeah.
The closer your knee is to the couch, the more you're going to feel that stretch. So the knee has to be flush right onto the couch. There you go. And then try to come up. Slowly, let the stretch come to you. There you go, Jessica. Easy does it. You should feel a real deep stretch in your quad and a little bit up into that TFL as well if you lean into it. can do a reach up if you get to the top. It's okay, Jessica. It's easy does it here. So
No,
reach
this
across
is,
the
this
body.
is just
Up
my
and across
bad
the
knee.
body.
I just gotta put it, I'm on hard floor. Leave it the mat. There we go.
There you go. Easy does it. Like I said, usually what I would do is 2 minutes on these stretches, but you know, for time's sake, just get a deep stretch and then go ahead and use the other leg. We'll switch to the other side.
Ow. I really miss our floors at FBBC.
I know, right?
Those nice padded carpets.
The little things that we miss.
Yeah.
What's the kid's name?
What?
What's the kid's name?
Oh, Benjamin. We call him Benny.
Benny?
Hi,
Yeah.
Benny.
Oh, and Benacobi. Sorry.
Awesome, awesome. All right, so let's try to get into the glute because I know you ladies have to get out pretty soon, right? I always lose track of time. It's been 20 minutes. So we'll get into the glute real quick with the foam roll. So this is why a lot of girls don't get glute activation. That might be why you're quad dominant. I'm not sure. I have to throw you through an assessment, but this is what happens. What I was telling Jessica earlier, when the TFL, that little corner right here is tight, you get the tilt right here, right? And what our leg is supposed to do, what our glute's supposed to do, is when we take a step, it's supposed to stabilize on this leg right here. So my outside hip, it's supposed to stabilize as one leg comes back. So what happens is if you're like this, your leg would have to go way, way far back for that glute to activate. But if it's in this, that leg comes back, your glute's activating a lot better. Does that kind of make sense? I can't do it because I'm not walking. I can't stand up, but.
I see what you're saying. It's just like when you're doing your squats. It's like.
So look at, if you put your hips forward.
You have to bring it forward.
Yeah, but if your hips are already forward and you're taking a step back, what your glute is supposed to do is contract and bring your leg back. But if your hips are forward, how far do you have to pull that leg back to get it to contract?
Yeah.
Pretty far back, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we're trying to do is get our hips into the right spot so that we can activate that glute. Same thing in a glute bridge. A lot of people don't feel it in a glute bridge because when they get up, their hips are still tilted forward instead of up. Their hips are, even at the top, they're still like this. So what we do is fix the hips and it squeezes the glutes more. Does that kind of make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what we're doing is fixing the hips so that when we get into our squat, you're using your glutes and not just your quads. That's a little tip to try to get more glute activation in your leg workouts. So to do that, we're gonna stretch out the piriformis. When the glute's not working, the piriformis takes over, and it's a little tiny muscle that you're gonna feel right here. We don't want that extending the hip. We want the glute extending the hip. To do that, we're gonna have to loosen up that piriformis. So, figure 4, one leg on top of the other right here. Good. So, let's see. Janique, what I want you to do is as soon as you get back into the figure 4, I'll figure out which arm. I need your left arm on the outside of, or your left hand on the outside of your knee. Good. What I want you to do is pull that knee into your chest. Good. And then lean into the glute right there. You kind of opened up a little spot, lean into it. You'll find a tiny, tiny muscle.
Ow.
You find it, Jessica?
Yes.
Good. So pull that knee in and then find that tiny muscle. It might be further back on the glute than in the front and the middle. So I think more of the back corner of your glute.
Yeah, I can feel it.
There we go. Good, good, good. Lean into it. Try to put as much pressure as you can. Yeah, so when the glutes aren't activating correctly, this little muscle takes over and it gets real tight. And this is what actually pinches the sciatic nerve that gives you that numbness or sharp pain down your leg or low back pain. So this little muscle gets tight all because your hips are tilted forward, and that's because we sit a lot or that TFL gets tight in the front. Good, find that pressure, and then go ahead and you switch sides. What I like to do is use a softball that really will dig in there. You don't even need to really try to open it up. You just put this on that back corner of your glute, and it'll open up that muscle. How's it feeling?
Good.
Found it?
Yep.
Okay, good, good.
My hands are tingling.
You know what happens? Sometimes I feel like it tingled down towards my foot with this one.
Yeah, I feel it.
Yeah, this is what causes a lot of that sharp pain going down the back of the leg, the sciatica nerve pain. It just, this piriformis is right on that nerve. So when it gets tight, it causes all that pain and stuff. So I don't know if you have any kind of shooting down your leg, but this will help fix that if that's part of your back pain. Cool. All right, as soon as you ladies are done with that, we're gonna finish it off with the pigeon pose. If we can both get into the pigeon pose, that's where we'll stop. But if we can't, I'll show you an alternative for that one. So, pigeon pose is pretty simple. It's gonna be hard for me to do it sideways like this. But what I want you to do is get one leg straight behind you. The other one is out in front of you. But I want your shin to be perpendicular with your body. I don't want your heel coming into your hip. I want your heel all the way out in line with your knee, out in front of you.
Like a 7?
Yeah. So, and then we're gonna come up. If you have your right leg in front of you, I want you to push your left hip down. Square yourself up.
Ooh.
So if your right leg's in front of you, try to get your chest out forward too, and then drive that left hip into the ground. Good. There we go, Janik. And if you can lean forward, that's perfect. That gets a deeper stretch in that area. Perfect. That's it, Jessica. Good. Now this is stretching out that little muscle that we just worked on right now. Good, good, good. Deep breath in as you come back up. We're going to go ahead and switch legs here.
You know, I did these with you last week, Christian, but I swear to God, I feel like I'm just as tight last week as I am this week.
What happened?
I said, I did these with you last week, but gosh, I still feel so tight like last week.
You know what? Not one salad will make you skinny. Not one of these is going to fix your problem. I know, you hear me say it all the time, but it's true. You got to do this, I promise you, like 3 times a week.
One salad makes me more hungry.
Oh, it's true. There's not enough chicken on it. I get hungry. Oh. Yeah, it's all about consistency, Jessica. It took a long time for the problem to start. I mean, I'm not going to say 9 months because you probably weren't experiencing the problem for 9 months, but like, you know, most of the pregnancy, I'm pretty sure that's what caused the problem. So, you know, doing one 30-minute corrective thing isn't going to solve the problem, but you are now equipped with the tools to combat it. And I'm trying to explain a little bit like the reasons why we're doing these things. So kind of makes more sense. All right, one more stretch. Good. We're going to be done with the hips. This is just a complete lower body. Janique, I've showed this to Jessica before, but anytime we do a lower body workout or just any kind of a workout, a core and cardio, this is what I recommend doing 2 sets of 8 of this. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into a squat position with our hands on the bottom of our feet here. And what I want you to do is have your elbows on the inside of your knees. Try to get your chest up, shoulder blades back. And I want you to push your knees out. So that's going to stretch the inner part of the thigh. And then what I want you to do for the rep is we're going to come up, keeping your hands on the bottom right here. We're going to get all the way up to the top, as high as you can, and then come back down and do it again. Good. Push those knees out. Nice stretch here. Come up to the top. Good. As high as you can. You're going to be able to get higher and higher each rep. Let's get down. Good. Chest back, shoulders back. Good. Up. 3. Good. Back down. Awesome. There we go. 4. Back down. Nice. Let's go. 5. Hold it at the top for 2 seconds. Nice stretch. Bring it back down. Oh, there you go. There you go. We got 2 more. We got 2 more. You're doing awesome, Janique. This is actually pretty tough. You can get deep into your squats. That's good. All the way up. And let's go back down. 1 more. Back up. Awesome. Try to pull your knees as far back as you can so we can get that deep stretch in the quad too. There we go. And we're going to come back up to the top. Awesome. So before all your leg workouts, I recommend doing 2 sets of that beforehand.
All right.
And if you want to, open up these hips. Get these hips right doing these things before your workout, and you'll get more glute activation during your workout because your hips will be all in the right position.
All right.
Awesome.
Cool.
Is there anything else that you ladies need?
Christian, can I do my shoulder real quick?
Yeah, we can do that. Let me see. I have 10 minutes, so we can
Okay.
do
All
that.
right, I'm gonna take off. Okay, thank you.
Bye, girls. See you soon.
Bye, Jessica. Good seeing
Bye.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you, guys.
Okay, so you want your shoulder, right?
real quick.
Okay, cool. Let's get.
Well, this area, remember last week I was telling you this area, I think we did right here, right?
Yeah, that's what. That's gonna open up that.
I couldn't remember how to do it.
Well, we'll do that right now.
Okay.
So good. We're gonna extend our arm all the way out here.
I have to do it this way, sorry, because this couch is in the way.
It's okay. So
I
I would
can do
think.
it this way so you can see. How do I do it this way?
So I would think like in the armpit right here, just below in the back.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Good. Good. Hold it there. Just hold it there. Put as much pressure as you can on that. I'm going to use the ball because this thing doesn't work for me anymore.
I feel it on here, but let me do I'll do the hard one. This one hurts so bad.
It has the spikes and everything in it.
It hurts so bad. My kids bought it for me for I think Mother's Day, and I'm like, I barely use it because it hurts.
I like those ones. Those are nice.
But
Yeah.
I feel like I'm on like needles. It hurts so bad.
Once you get to more advanced, more advanced levels. I felt the same way. They had a big, it's a Rombo roller, so it's thick, big ones that are like blocks that like dig into you.
Oh man.
Yeah, that one was tough.
Are you not going to the gym at all, or only like twice a week?
Yeah, 3 times a week.
Are you going to Monroe?
No, Sal does in the mornings. I get nervous because I think if I'm gonna go there, they're gonna catch me.
Oh, but I mean, which one do you go to? Altaloma?
Altaloma, yeah, that one's really discreet.
But Sal goes to the Monrovia one at 6 a.m. But
Yeah, I just need to do it. I need to just go.
oh man.
There's a lot of video I want to record, but I don't want to record it here.
Yeah. I mean, is there any like areas by your house, like a park that's nice?
Not really. I live in the ghetto of Azusa. I can get to a park if I needed to, but
like there's a park over here that I see a lot of people at. Not a lot of people, but I mean, there's this one dad that's there all the time, and he sets up this like little batting cage for his kid, and he's out there like throwing balls. But it's like a big open field, you know.
Nice. I like that. That's a good idea.
Because that way you're still distancing, and it's bright. It's nice outside.
Yeah. I always feel like I'm just gonna find that one jerk that's gonna try to ticket me. I just gotta get over that.
I mean, all they could tell you is that you have to leave. I mean, they have to give you a warning.
Yeah. I sure hope.
My dad takes Thomas to like ride his bike around the like school and park all the time.
Well, you're in Glendora, right?
No, West Covina.
Okay. That's kind of a nice area, right?
Yeah, no, I live in a nice area.
Yeah. Man, this is digging in.
Yes, it hurts.
Do you have a red fit band?
I do.
We can use that too to do some shoulder stuff, just to activate, like, you know, band pull aparts and things like that. That's excellent for that shoulder.
Oh, okay, yeah, I have a band.
Put it back where it needs to go.
That's the only thing I have is the bands.
That's perfect.
I have the ones that go around your hips. I have the elastic small ones, and then I have the. I don't want to invest in weights because I feel like that's kind of useless.
So you know what you could do is use your bands and then like use a broomstick.
So I have some like this. I have a couple of these ones.
They're good.
And then I have this one that Dustin told us to buy.
That's perfect. Yeah.
And then I have like these kinds. Or is the other ones? I don't know how to get them. They're probably another room. The hip ones.
That's what I've been doing. I've been just using like a pole. And then like putting the bands around it and using it as like, you can do whatever you want with it. You know, rows, or you can use more than one band, or, you know, step into it.
That's what I've been doing them like that. Without the band though. I mean, not without the, like when Sal does rolls and stuff, I just do them like this. Oh, you can't see me. Sorry.
I think I know what you're talking about though.
I pretty much do it like like my version of it. I just do this way.
Yeah, that one's good. That one doesn't hurt your back?
Mm-mm.
Okay, good.
Because I'm like this. It doesn't hurt my back.
So what I want you to pay attention to when you're doing exercises like that, and it's something that not a lot of us actually pay attention to, is your neck. So say you have your hips driven back, and a lot of people they'll be looking up right here, but you see how my neck is like framed?
Yeah.
What I want you to do instead is look at something at the floor in front of you, and that kind of keeps your head in a neutral position. And actually, if you're doing like a deadlift, that makes you so much stronger because your spine is connected properly.
I did that a lot. I did that good when I was at the gym. And I think the difference here is that now when I'm on the Zoom, like I tend to like look up to see what's going on. Or like when I'm at home, I mean, when I'm there, like I'm more of a focus. Like I keep like focus. But yeah.
I notice you do that pretty well. But that's something I feel a lot of clients do.
Well, I do it too because I fractured my neck when I was younger.
Oh, no.
So I tend to have a little bit of tightness in my neck always just because I tend to like, you know, I just tend to do it. So I try to like relax when I'm working out because I know that if I tighten too much, it starts to hurt. Yeah, I fractured two small bones in my neck.
Do you think that might be part of what's causing that neck pain right there?
Yeah. Well, possibly. It's always going to be in here. I got into a car accident. I fractured my neck and I sprained my lower back.
Oh, no.
And I was in high school. So it was ever since then. But I've always worked out after that because I had that problem.
Trying to strengthen it?
I've always tried to strengthen it. And then, I would get lazy for a few years and then I would go back to working out. But this has been my consistent for the last 4 years. I've been consistently working out. I mean, besides the point where I had the girls, but I worked out through my whole pregnancy. Well, 6 months of it. Doctor had to stop me at 6 months because I couldn't walk anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, I couldn't walk.
You're probably big, huh?
I was huge. I gained 65 pounds.
Wow.
With the girls. I literally was like, I couldn't even like walk and like hold myself over.
That's crazy.
I would only go to a store that had those wheelchair electronic. The doctor gave me a handicap sign. Like I could not walk. Like I literally couldn't walk. I would be in so much pain. There was so much pressure in my hips and my back and my shoulders because I was like compensating because it hurt so bad. So I was like, it was awful. But the girls were 7 pounds each. I had 15 pounds of baby in me.
That's a lot of baby to be carrying.
And at the time when I got pregnant, we're gonna get cut off. But at the time that I was pregnant, I was only like 110 pounds when I started. So
yeah, that's almost 10% of your body weight that you added on just with the kids.
It was huge. But anyway, thanks, Christian. You're the best.
Yeah. Hey, just before we leave, bend dislocates. Just do this.
Oh, okay.
Good. Spread it apart. Keep tension in the shoulders. Up and over, up and over. Good. And then your pull aparts. Those are good too.
Okay.
Not too much. Don't strain the neck. But if you feel like you're hunched over too much, do some pull aparts. Pull them apart. There you go. Perfect. That's good. Yeah. When your neck bothers you, start doing that. Release the lat and do a couple of these. I think you should be okay.
I feel that rolling in my shoulder, but that's good.
If it hurts, don't do it. If you feel
No,
sharp.
it doesn't hurt. I just feel the rolling sensation.
Yeah.